new RK1-Up pre-orders, the AtGames racer that never was, Killer Instinct details, and a live unboxing that promises to disappoint. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and another episode of This Week, the show that we basically talk about what happened last week and what's going to happen next week. And, somewhere in the middle, there's the weekend, there's this show. How's everybody doing tonight? So last week was a little crazy for me. Had to go out of town for work, so I kind of missed out on some stuff, and it turned out to be a wild week to be gone. That's for damn sure. Tonight, the bourbon of choice. We are still with the Jeffersons because we're moving on up to the east side. So still in this bourbon, and it doesn't really disappoint. It's not a disappointment. It's smooth. It's delicious. Great over the rocks, as always, out of the bullet glass. Cheers, everybody. Taking tomorrow off. Taking tomorrow off because I'm turning older. Got to be 45 on Tuesday, so I decided to take Monday off to kind of stretch out the weekend. So an old man gets even older. So, and as appropriate, I'm talking about toys with some of my friends. So this is what you do. This is what you do when you're 44. What's going on, Miss Harris? How are you? I know you were excited about these Countercade pre-orders finally popping up everywhere. We're going to talk about that later on tonight. Jurassic Park by Sega. You think that people would buy that for a cab add-on? Yes, I think there's that's one of the, if you're talking about the Genesis, and I believe there was an arcade version that came out also. That was a really fun game, especially on the Genesis. It was actually a ton of fun, which is weird because a lot of those tie-ins, those movie tie-ins, don't really work out too well, do they? And if you're talking about Sega, I'm assuming you're talking about the arcade version. But if you're talking about Genesis, one of my favorite Sega Genesis games is Booger Man, because I'm a big immature child. That's just the way I'm. Not ashamed to say it. M. Tucker, you bad mother. What? Sunday with Fox. How you doing? Well, not all day, just the evenings. Hopefully everybody had a great Sunday. A very emotional Saturday, obviously, for everybody here in the U.S. Not going to talk too much about it other than, never forget and just enjoy the hell out of your life now, and that's going to be the end of that. Getting myself a drink for this. Well, outstanding, Cryotech. Do it now. Whatever drink of choice, whatever drink that you enjoy, doesn't have to be bourbon, can be whatever you want. The fact is, we're going to kick back, we're going to relax. The camera's going to go out of focus. Been doing that a lot lately. There we go. Come back, baby. Come on, stay with me. We've only got 3 hours. What? 3-hour live stream? That's crazy. Sergeant Sneakers. Hey, 19K Fox. I am a soldier as well. Okay, 92 Foxtrot. Fueler and Ranger. Love your show. Keep up the awesome work. Who? Appreciate your service. Sarge, I made it out as an E5, so I got called Sergeant before I left, too. It was kind of fun. Archtimmy Dragon, how's it going? Made it today. Yes, haven't seen you on the live streams in a while, man. Thanks for stopping by. How many machines you have set in the basement? If I say it too loud, my wife will come in and hit me with something heavy. But currently, if we don't count the... because I don't even count my first gen Street Fighter because it's not up and running. So I think I've got 7 over there. Still waiting on one. Mike Hawkhurts, what's going on? Biggest disappointment for Countercades is no Wi-Fi. Yes, no Wi-Fi, which at this point is kind of a shame. It's kind of a shame because we're at this point, we're expecting it, right? All these big arcades are coming out with this, and if you're going to charge over $200 for a Countercade, you need to come with the features. And 2 players crowd around that doesn't really count as a feature. What is going on? Ezekiel the Chicago Retro Ranger for $5 super chat. Fox, today is my little girl's 3rd birthday. Hey, happy birthday. We celebrated earlier today with some Minnie Mouse cake and cake pop. That sounds awesome. Man, listen, 3 years old. Just take a mental picture, because that's some of the greatest years of being a dad and having kids around that age. They still acknowledge your presence. They still give you hugs and stuff. So 3 years old, that is just a great, absolute great time. 3, 5, 6, 7, those years, when they still jump on your lap. I'm not trying to get too sappy, but that's pretty awesome. So happy birthday indeed. And of course, we got to give you something a little special. This one's going to be for your daughter. Here you go.
But wait, there's more.
Once again, happy birthday, and thank you so much for the super chat. Tell her everybody in the community said happy birthday. Maj and Ian, what's going on? Countercades are just not for me. They're not for everybody. They're not for everybody. You're not the Lone Ranger on that one, for sure. It's kind of a weird thing. The bar top wasn't really shrunk down to that size. Really, the bar top arcade was much bigger than that. And they're trying to do a lot with that form factor, with that 8-inch screen. And I think it's a real disappointment that if you're going to go for 2 players, not going for 8 inches, or not going beyond 8 inches, and 10 or 12 would have made a little more sense. But even that, I think I'm not a real big fan. I rocked with a legit bar top for a while, multicade, and I couldn't get over the form factor, having to put it on something, not having a designated bar. And to be fair, I didn't have a designated bar. So if you have a bar, kind of makes sense to have that as part of it. So yeah, no, it's, I agree. It's not for everybody. It's really not for everybody. Shame the cabs cannot be remotely connected to your PC. You play games on the machine from your PC. It's possible to, and I've done some modding where you can actually have an HDMI output on that and just, use that. I've used that on my other projects where I've got the PlayStation 1, the small one, where I've also got the PS Vita, using that also. So it's, there's ways to go around it, but at the end of the day, you're still rocking with an 8-inch screen. It's just not that fun. It's really not, end of the day. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Also, most of the countercades advertise USB port, but for what? And I don't see the USB port featured in description and photos for Marvel versus the Marvel countercades. The USB port, I think, is designed, and like I say, this is all conjecture, but I believe it's designed to be another controller port for the 4-player games, TMNT. Really, I think it's the only one I guess that in NBA Jam, 4-player games with the 2-player configuration. So you can imagine the fun of having 4 people around an 8-inch screen. Yeah, I know. Doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. So the headphone jack, I get. That's fine. You should probably add that to everything because it's a good little feature. But really, I mean, especially with a cab with online play, if you're up late and you're playing online and you're trying to keep the rest of the house they're undisturbed, that makes a lot of sense. But another controller port, I just don't get that. I almost get. I think I would even be game for this, a 2-player control deck for the 3/4 scale 4-player games. TMNT. I've talked about this. I've made a video where I actually made a 2-player version of the TMNT control deck, just for people that they're tight on space and that 4-player is just a little too big. I'd kind of be down for a 2-player version with 2 USB ports, so you could add, 2 remote game pads for 4-player action on a 3/4 scale. That would kind of make a little more sense. But I mean, whatever. I mean, you're trying to add features to a countercade, which the only feature that really people are interested in, well, the 2 are going to be live, and there's going to be a larger, better quality monitor. If you're not going to do that, nobody's going to be real jazzed about it. I mean, I think beyond this, once this initial wave of 2-player countercades comes out, I can't imagine anybody wanting to get another one. What else are you going to do? There's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do. Indeed. Is it true the next reskin for the Atari Legacy is leaked and it's centipede? I don't know. I haven't seen that leak. Wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. Kind of makes some sense. Cryotech, if I had this bottle of bourbon, it would be empty already. Yes, I have a problem. Don't admit you have a problem because that's when you actually have a problem. If you pretend you don't have a problem, then you don't have a problem. This is a joke. I'm just kidding. Alcoholism is a real thing. Yeah, seek help if the bottle's already empty. Damn, we just got started. 10 minutes in and you've emptied the bottle? Bozo, what's up, man? Hello, 19K Fox Bourbon Kool-Aid Sundays. Yes, sir. Bourbon Kool-Aid Sundays indeed. Oh, man. Craziness going on in the world today. Mike Hawk Hurts, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Turning 45. A bicentennial baby. Turning 45. Now I really can't wait for it. He can't wait for it indeed. Seeing some happy birthdays. Thank you. I appreciate it. Night Shadow. What's up? What's up, 19K Fox? How are you liking the Countercades and the Killer Instinct cab? Oh, we're going to talk about that tonight. I think for the most part, this is a spoiler for the rest of the show. When it comes to Killer Instinct, most of my concerns have been washed away. But we will see. We will see. Travis says, hey, what should I pour tonight? Whatever your little heart desires. I'm always rocking the bourbon, going with the Jeffersons tonight, but to each his own. To each his own. All depends on how early you got to get up tomorrow for work. That's the key. That is the key. R. Davison, hey, good people. There are good people there in this chat. Why they keep coming here baffles my mind, but I do appreciate them coming and stopping by. P-Dubs in the house, celebrity. What's up? Happy birthday. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Birthday is Tuesday. Going to be even older. 45 is kind of a cool age. I might go outside and shoot my 45. I got this idea of like a YouTube short. Have you seen those on YouTube? Little clips. I thought about doing a video series, Colt 45 versus Colt 45. And basically I just shoot a can of Colt 45 malt liquor with my Colt 45. I know it's better. When you say it out loud, it sounds really dumb. When it was in my head, it was just kind of dumb. We'll table that for now. Kingsborough, 19K Fox. What is happening, my man? Not much. Just about to talk about some cool, I think some exciting things, some confusing things too. Some things that are some thought-provoking things. These pre-orders do to the consumer, to the arcade one-up fan. What do we do? How do we rationalize this? We're going to get into it just a little bit. Lots of happy birthdays, man. I appreciate it very, very much. Happy Sunday, Cato771. Happy Sunday to you as well. You're going to move the office machines to the basement? I don't know. I kind of like having them in up here, they make a hell of a background, especially the Star Wars arcade, and my Marvel vs. Capcom is kind of like my second favorite. So, I mean, these two are my top two. I'm thinking about leaving the office as just like it'll have the two, like the first and second place cabs will be up here. So the two favorites will stay up here. That's what I'm thinking. I like to leave the back open for other things. Little PlayStation action there. I'm a big dumb child, I know. Captain America getting beat. Captain America, he always gets beaten up, doesn't he? Cryotech said, I would watch a Core 45 video for sure. We can make it happen. Pete, what's going on, brother? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Now I'm watching you on my 65. Oh, geez, 65-inch TV. Now I can sit back, rest on my bed. And now I feel awkward. Now I want to sit. This TV is huge. I probably look worse than HD. Probably 4K too. Please enjoy the show. Cryotech says it needs to be uncut video. Just see how good of a show. Okay. All right. That's fine. Well, I didn't say how close I'd be. But yeah, I'll give it a shot. I see the correction. Shot, not shoot shot. Gotcha. Absolutely. BA says LOL. He's laughing at something. I don't know. Probably nothing I said. Probably something that someone else said. Miss Harris is in the building. How are you? In the house. My B-day is, it's Thursday. You'll be 45? No. Well, congratulations. We are a great vintage, aren't we? You and I. 45. Seasoned to perfection is what I like to say. Age to perfection, I guess is what it is. So that's how you describe a bourbon or a wine or something. Vic Vicious 75. Happy Sunday. Now, where's my Killer Instinct? Oh, that's good. We're going to get there. We are going to get there. In fact, Virgos indeed. Virgos. Absolutely. I said it in 4K. Constorm Entertainment. Greetings. Greetings to you. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. About to talk about the number one topic. So the pre-orders. So, with Arcade Winter pre-orders, it's always a mixed bag, isn't it? with the speculation of the leaks and the things that go around, you're happy. You're finally like, okay, here we go. Here it is. It's pre-order time. I can actually pre-order this thing, whichever one it is. But then it shows up, and then, you were kind of hoping maybe that price was a little lower. Maybe that wasn't the actual price. Maybe that was a misprint. Maybe it's going to go on sale somewhere. And then unfortunately, you find out that it's really not. It's really not. So let's go ahead and jump on over to Arcade 1UP real quick. And let's just kind of get an idea. So, well, actually, let's start with Target. And here we go. A lot of this stuff is, everything up top is sort of situation normal. And I don't know if everyone is aware. I think we talked about this last week, but the X-Men, or maybe I posted this on my community page on YouTube, that this price evidently has not gone down when it comes to the X-Men 4-player, $750. That's really, I still think they're trying to recoup some of that money. But I'm also hearing from some of my commenters that they've actually had those $5.99 whenever they were able to get this for $5.99. They've seen those canceled. Those transactions have been completely canceled. So I'm not sure why they've increased this by $50. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But at this point, what is what it is, right? So got the release date of The Simpsons down here for November 15th. So I believe that's still unchanged. Scrolling down to some of the new pre-orders. And we're eventually going to get there. Okay, so we're looking at head-to-head pricing is kind of where I want to start. We're going to get to the turtles also, but I want to start with these. I think these head-to-heads, these cocktail cabs, whatever you want to call them, they are, I don't know. They're definitely, so right off the bat, they're a niche thing. They're definitely something that you're going to have to either like this or not like it. There's a different, in my personal opinion, me personally, and I have one of these. I've got a Black Series Capcom over in the arcade, and it doesn't get a lot of playtime. It's a weird form factor for certain types of games. When you're talking about playing Commando on that, that's kind of cool. That makes a lot of sense. Vertical games play well on it, but when it comes to Mortal Kombat, I have some questions. But more specifically, Marvel versus Capcom. We see our 2-player countercades here. Like I said, we're going to come back to, and just for everybody's knowledge, I do have this pre-ordered, the Marvel Superheroes. Can't wait to get my hands on that. Still $230 is really expensive. After tax and all that, you're pushing $250. Damn, it's crazy. The Pong home arcade, this thing, I will never understand. I mean, Pong is cool because it kind of started the whole thing, but that's about all. I mean, I would have a poster of Pong. I wouldn't have an actual game of Pong. Just wouldn't do it. So as you scroll down, whoa, there we go. Look at this guy. That's an ongoing controversy. Personally, I actually pre-ordered one of the Paw Patrols from Walmart, and that, just to get that into review, and then that has become just a debacle. So now I don't even know where that is or what's going on with that. So I've actually tried to just cancel it, and I still can't get that cancellation to go through. Now, what I'm not seeing here is something we'll just have to go over. Let me stop sharing here, and I'm going to jump over. Now, you see the price, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. Let's go over to the Arcade 1UP website, because I think this is really the kicker. Not that these aren't, they're not for everybody. The cocktail cabs, the head-to-heads are not for everybody. I get that. And it's definitely kind of, you kind of got to enjoy that form factor. But what I'm really blown away by is this right here. And this is the same price at Target, $6.99. $6.99 for a fighting cab. And, when it comes to the fighting cabs, you're taking that, right off the bat, you got the price point, right? And then you got that obvious comparison that I'm going to make later on to the stand-up version of this. You have a 17-inch monitor that you're going to cut in half. Remember, you're going to have to share the screen with whoever you're fighting. So it takes that and really cuts it down. So your playfield is dramatically reduced, right? Completely reduced. So I just wanted to show you that. Especially, see, when you look at this top, I mean, it really, all the stuff around it really accentuates the 17-inch monitor. It really shows off how small it is in comparison to your tabletop. It really does. I mean, all the stuff in here, they're just trying to fill up the space that is created by that. It's just weird. I think that it would be much better served to have like a 20-inch monitor or something. I mean, you need to go bigger with that. You really need to go bigger. Completely different monitors, what you need. So obviously when you see that, and there's a list of pre-orders, but this is the first one that I kind of gravitated towards because I love my Marvel versus Capcom cabinet. I've said this before, this and the X-Men versus Street Fighter, because of their price difference between those two cabs. Best deals out there if you like fighting games for the arcade one-up scene, right? This one right here specifically. You got the Wi-Fi, you got the lit deck protector, you have the stool that was included, $4.99. Even right now, with the price increase, still a damn good deal. So let's check this out. So I bring this up to illustrate the differences between the two. So on the left, you have what I bought, what many other people bought. Now, I actually got this at $4.99, but it's so right now the current price, you can buy it now for $5.50. It's what you can buy it for. Here's what you get as far as the games. You get these 3 games. I'm sorry, you get these 5 games. You get these 5 games. And me personally, I'm not a big fan of the War of the Gyms. I think that's just, a console game should not be on an arcade machine, but I'm not gonna debate that again. Let's just go with it. So you have for $550, you get the stand up, all the stuff I just listed. You got the Wi-Fi, lid deck protector, and then you got the stool. Do you want the stool? Do you have to have the stool? Not necessarily. The stool, in my opinion, could be left off of every upright, but I digress. Let's move on. Switching over to the right side, now that we have a pre-order, now we know the price, here's what you're looking at. You're looking at $700. $700 for 3 more games. $700 for 3 more games. You get everything that you get over here with the stand-up version, but they also include X-Men Children of the Atom, the Punisher, which is the one I really, I enjoy that one. I wanted to get that one. That's really one of the reasons why I'm going with the 2-player countercade that I am. And then X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. Another console port that I think has no business being on any arcade machine. If these are truly designed to mimic the arcade experience, why in the hell do I have a console port on my arcade machine? It makes no sense. So there you go. So there is the comparison. I don't understand this. I just don't get it. And you can talk about the price of wood, and you can talk about this, and you can talk about that. I don't get this at all. I don't get this at all. And let me share my screen again real quick. I want to make sure, before I say this, I want to make sure I get this right. Heaven forbid I get something wrong, because I never make a mistake. That's a lie. That's that's a lie. Everybody remembers my stream. My I was wrong stream, because I was wrong. I'm still, there's a part of me, and I have the Simpsons cab on pre-order. There's still a part of me that says, you know what? What if bowling isn't on there? I don't know. To each his own. But anyway, so as I'm scrolling down here, I wanted to point out a big thing is I don't see live. I don't see Wi-Fi. I don't see that listed as one of the features of this head-to-head cabinet. I just don't see it. Am I missing something? Head-to-head. I don't see live. I don't see Wi-Fi. So this is what you have. You have a $150 increase. You're paying. They're asking $150 more for 3 more games in a completely different form factor that requires you. I know this is silly, but bear with me. This requires you to bring a seat. You have to have a chair. I know you may think that's silly, but think about it. You're paying $150 more. You're losing Wi-Fi. You're only getting 3 more games, and it requires you to have your own chair. If you look over here on the left side, for $550, you're getting something that it includes furniture, the stool that you don't even need. You don't even need the stool to play this. You could just stand up, but they give it to you anyway. I don't understand this pricing. I just don't get this at all. I don't understand this pricing whatsoever. You're going to have a stool. You're going to have a chair. You're going to have something dedicated for it. So, you can't drag the recliner up to it. You got to have a chair. Now, I'm sure everybody's got a chair kicking around, but you got to have it. There's no option to, I guess, to be fair, you could just maybe get on your knees and play this thing if that's what you want. Rock on. That's fine. But I just don't get it. Where's the trade-off? I think that why isn't this $4.99? Why isn't this $4.99? Why isn't this, it should literally be $50 cheaper. And then Chris, I see you up there. Chris Kingsborough says the cocktails also need a riser. That's true. That's true. They also need a riser, because if you're just going to pull a standard chair up to this thing, like a folding chair or anything, you're going to really need a riser. Maybe you don't technically need it, but it sure makes it a lot better, a lot more comfortable. So I don't understand the pricing whatsoever. And you got to drink to that. So let me know. What do you think? I'm not going to beat that to death. I think this kind of says it all. When you're looking at something that requires seating that is not included, but then you have something that doesn't require seating, but that is included, and Wi-Fi, and it's cheaper. I mean, we're talking about the same controls. Yes, I know there's a little more wood. I'll give you that. There's a little bit more wood in this cocktail cabinet, I believe. If you look at this really and map the whole thing out, it's probably got a little more wood in it. But we've been over this before. Do you really think that wood prices justify that huge increase? There's no Wi-Fi. There's no lit deck protectors on this. Why? Please tell me the price. And then we can talk about the countercades next, because I don't know why those things are $229 either. I have a very specific example of what I want to focus on to really illustrate the point. So last time I'm going to show this. Here it is. It's not black and white. It's actually in color, but here it is written down. There you go. There's a games list. I mean, I don't get it. You're not getting anything different. You're not, for 3 games. Do you really think those 3 games are worth $50? Do you think a little stool should be included? One of the short stools? At least one. You're going to have at least one. What if 2 people want to play? Now you got to have another seat. You got to have 2 chairs. So, damn, why not at that price, you should include 2 stools. The ones that are adjustable, the ones where you could, most of them, I think some of them, I believe. Yeah, see, this stool right here that came with my Marvel vs. Capcom is not adjustable. It's fixed, the height, which is fine. I don't mind. But like when you buy something like the Star Wars over here, it has those little legs on the bottom. So you can either use those or not. And if you don't use those, they're perfect for the well, I'll say they're perfect. They're intended to be for the countercades on the cocktail cabs. So the head-to-heads, I guess is what they're calling. So I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't get it. What do you think? Am I way off base? Is this totally worth $700? And then, if you're lucky, you can get, free shipping. But then you could be a poor sap like me, and I'll just go ahead and break it to everybody right now. I still don't know where my big blue is. And like a dummy, and if I am partially to blame for this, I had mine on lockdown with Arcade 1-Up, but I wanted to save that $75 in shipping, so I jumped over to GameStop, and now I literally have a package from FedEx that every day just says in transit. So tomorrow I'm going to try on my day off to try to lock this thing down. I've got to figure out what the hell's going on with that. It's crazy. But yeah, so I'm a little brokenhearted, but I'll get over it. I will eventually have this thing found and then go from there. Because I can't wait to get my hands on that, because I think that's going to, there's a hint there. I want to see how that thing is put together, because we're going to see that's going to tie into the Killer Instinct cab a little bit later to talk about that. Jason, what's going on? Those cocktail cabs are nice, but $700 is pretty brutal. I think so. For $700, you just got to ask yourself why. I mean, and it's not like I'm comparing it to something that doesn't exist anymore. You can currently get that same this cab right here. You can still get this in the same configuration now for $550. I didn't say $499 because that's what I bought it for. $549 is what it's available for right now. And I just don't get it. I mean, if that's what we have, because that's all we really have as far as a comparison. To compare that to something, what would you do? Well, there you go. Similar games list. I just don't get it. I think that I paid, my Black Series was $500. My Black Series Countercade or cocktail cab. I keep mixing the two up. The head-to-head. That thing all blacked out with the 12 games, which is that's like the first time you could get all 12 games, the Capcom games, from Arcade 1-Up, was $500. I just don't get the pricing. The pricing is crazy. I mean, $700. I mean, damn, I just don't get it. I think that's a big no thanks. BA's not having it. Not having it at all. Doesn't everyone stand up to play their sit down set? I do. You're right. Actually, I have a third person there holding it up for me. I guess I could get just tall legs, some 2-foot legs. I could build something. I could do that. Be kind of weird to maybe have it like right here, chest high, playing. Be like leaning over, or I could just do it like I don't know, whatever. It's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Need to refine it though. I need to work on that. But it could work. By the time you spend $699, you need extra items going to cost you close to $1,000. Not worth it. I mean, even if you go to Home Depot and get a couple folding chairs and say these are going to be just for my arcade machine and that's it. I mean, those are $30-$40 each. So yeah, I mean, you're looking at $700 plus nearly $100 more for a couple chairs there. And then if you want to raise this thing up a little bit, toss in another $20 for a set of furniture risers. So it's not like you can't get it exactly how you want it, but I mean, for $700, I'd like for that to be there. I'd like for that to go ahead and be set and done before, so that I don't have to worry about doing any of that. And, maybe we can see a head-to-head combo that has stools in it. I don't know. I think that at this point, we kind of should. That at least should be an option. But hell, I mean, it might be $1,000. It might be $1,000. Travis says, I might make my own cocktail cabinet with a Gamer Mini and a Core Max. That might be the better way to go. It's not worth it to get these cabs and then mod them, really. I mean, honestly, when you could pick these up for $299, and I guess there's an argument to be made about getting just the standard Legacy with no lit marquee and no riser, and grab one of those and go from there. But those things are kind of the pricing on that is kind of crazy too. I've seen them anywhere. I mean, they were supposed to be like $299, and there's $349, and it's all over the place. Some were like $319, so that could be, that could potentially be worth messing with. But who can afford to spend $700 and mod something? I guess there's somebody out there. I'm not that guy. I got to work a little too hard for my money, and it gets a little tough. It's tough just to get your hands on one. Do I have the chosen one? There he is. As well as the cocktail cabs are not designed for Wi-Fi. They're designed for company. You could say the exact same thing for what's sitting right behind me. This is designed for 2 players because it has 2 players. But that's fine. Take Wi-Fi out, but then don't charge more. I mean, I'm not even the biggest fan of Wi-Fi. So I get that maybe it's not, let's say you're right, chosen one, and it's not designed for Wi-Fi. Online play. It really is for that head-to-head, which in the name is head-to-head. Fine. So then why would it be the same price or more? I mean, okay, take it out. You could even maybe say the 3 games versus, swapping out that for Wi-Fi. Okay, you lose Wi-Fi, but you get 3 more games. Okay, well then why are we $700? Keep that price at $500. Makes sense. To me anyway. I don't know. I am just one person with one opinion. I hope Big Blue arrives on your birthday. I would love that. It'd be nice if it arrives tomorrow and I can play with it and put it together and shoot my footage. And then on my birthday, maybe throw a video out there and let everybody know kind of what I think about it. Because, I'm going to get all analytical. I'm going to break out the tape measure. I'm going to break out the angle finder. And I'm going to tell you everything about it. Close-ups of the PCB and all that. So, yeah, I've heard that it's going to have Ethernet in it. Wi-Fi Ethernet is the only selling point for arcade one-ups at this point, unless it's nostalgic or has special controls. It's just not a buy. I think you're right. And I've seen reviews about the Big Blue. It does have an Ethernet connection. So if you're talking about gaming at a high level, super low latency, arcade one-up is making steps in the right direction. It's not all doom and gloom. They're going in the right direction. And as those PCBs get a little more complex, I expect a slight price increase. I do. It makes sense. Slowly losing focus. There we go. I kind of move forward as you begin to invest more in your product, and to have those incremental price increases is one thing. $50 across the board is something I think everybody could deal with. We can understand, and we can roll with it. But I've said this before. I'll say it again. When we see your pinball machines jump $250 overnight, that's just okay. That's just crazy. There's no way that's justified, period. You just saw an opportunity to price yourself a little bit higher to get more cash, and that's what you did. Maybe I don't know how their sales are doing, but I can't imagine they've improved with that price point. But to each his own. ACS Rocks Esports. I have a cocktail multicade, and it never gets played. Well, that sucks. I hate that because you probably bought it thinking, man, you're going to get your hands on this and play it. And then you find yourself not playing it. And I hate that because I've been there. I think a lot of us have been there too. BA says, I would like to see larger screens. It makes sense. It makes a ton of sense. You like that imagery, being all like wrist all cramped. That'd be dope. No, probably not. Yeah, I think that's the big thing. No matter across the board, they go larger screens. I think that's what the community is asking for. Lee Bauer says there's only 2 cabs I'm going to get, and that's Killer Instinct and Class of '81. I think a lot of people with these prices are doing exactly what you're doing, Lee. We're like, listen, I can't just be impulse buying these things. They're just way out of my price range. I've got a plan for this. So what's coming up? What can I look forward to? Okay, I'm gonna get those 2, and that's it. And then mentally, it's now you're in a block. You're like, I don't care what else comes out. I can only get these 2. I don't care if the greatest game in the world comes out tomorrow. I can't afford it. I just can't afford it. For me personally, right now, I'm down to Killer Instinct and Terminator 2. I've got Simpsons coming. Big Blue is somewhere out in the ether. FedEx is just taking it, doing laps around my house, I guess. I don't know. They're just messing with me. They're watching me just live, watching me in the front yard, crying, looking at every truck that goes by. I'm just convinced that's what they're doing. King of Cobras. Hey, Fox, am I late? No. Am I late to talk about No, we've been saving Killer Instinct for a while. What's the word? I'll break it to you right now. There's no date released for it yet, but there's more information about Killer Instinct. God, just gotta delve into every little morsel that we have. And actually, somebody else did the work for me on this one. Angel, what's going on? Marvel Countercade has 4 games, but that is a perfect segue, Angel. Perfect segue. We're going to get into it right now. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and let's talk about it, because we're going to start with, right off the bat, the price. The price of these. So actually, you know what? Let me jump over. I know you can't see this. Let me kill this. I'm sharing the wrong one. Let me stop sharing that. I'm going to share a different one. Let's talk about the first leak or listing that we saw for these 2-player countercades. So let's go. Let me share the right screen this time. Come on, Fox. There we go. Okay. So here's where it all started for the most part. Now, we had those Amazon listings that didn't really have prices. They were just sort of there, but as placeholders. But then when this Shop HQ listing came out, we all got excited. At least I did. Because we kind of knew that these were coming out. Here they are. This is still current. But when you clicked on, really when you clicked on all of these, you saw the games list. But I think for the most part, I was excited to see the Ninja Turtles cab. If you scroll down, all the different games that were coming on this cab. You had both Turtles games, and then you had Crime Fighters and Vendetta, these are 2 of the games that were supposed to be on the Turtles in Time, 3/4 scale cab, as far as the Canadian listing was concerned. So you're going to have 6 games on that. And then there was a freak out, there was a mix up. They had to pull that down, and then we never saw it again. And then the next time that we saw additional games on a Turtles cab was right here for these 2 players. Right here. And I was like, wow, okay, cool. Finally something different on these Turtle cabs. Can't wait to get my hands on one. And I think at the end of the day, I was always going to get, the Marvel versus Capcom, or the superheroes, Marvel superheroes. But then there was also, I was like, you know what? I've got the 4-player, but this has different games. This is kind of, you can't really go wrong with this color scheme and all that. And they still have the original artwork on there. So, okay, maybe I'll get one of these. Sounds good. Sounds like a solid plan. But then the pre-orders came live, and then this is, unfortunately, this is what we actually saw. Starting with Target, scroll down, and we saw, there we go. There's that guy. Oh, I think I went down too far, didn't I? No, it's down. Scroll all the way down, and we saw the superheroes, and then there's NBA Jam. Come on, baby, load. And then we saw Ninja Turtles, and then we saw the price. Oh, $229. Damn, it's $30 more. It's a little pricey, but hey, I'm a Turtles fan. Let me click on this. Let me go ahead and pre-order it. I know it's a little more expensive than it's not really what I wanted to buy, but okay, let's give it a shot. But then when you scroll down, you saw, unfortunately, once again, all we're getting is 2 games. You get your headphone jack. You get your USB port for controller support. The controller is not included, says it right there. But you're going to be able to plug in other controllers if for some reason, maybe if you're just drunk or crazy, or hey, let's see how ridiculous this is, and you want to plug in another controller, which to be fair, if it's only one USB port, wouldn't that be just one more controller? So you're only going to be able to have 3 people. Moving on. That's a whole other issue. But we come right back to this 2-game setup. It's like, well, wait a minute. It doesn't make any sense. Why is it that we're getting 2 games on this when every other listing, and it's current. If you leave, let's leave here and let's scroll down. No, don't scroll down. What happened? Go back here and let's take a look at. Okay, so there's Turtles. Come over here and let's go to Marvel Superheroes. Make sure that's still the same. And we open this up, and yes, actually, highlights is up here on the highlights here. You see the actual games list. So you have Marvel Superheroes, X-Men versus Street Fighter, The Punisher, which I'm glad to finally get my hands on that, and then Marvel versus Capcom. So that listing remains the same, lit marquee, but you don't get the USB, from what I understand. So what's the deal? So I don't like this, and I've never been a fan of this trading features for games type thing. I've really never been a fan of that. It's like, okay, well, we're going to give you a USB, but you're not going to get 2 more games. Well, okay, you're giving us a USB for an option, which is something we won't always do. The USB is there. Well, that's great, but we're not always going to utilize that USB. And then if you really want to get down, now this is going to get, I know, okay, bear with me, but we're getting 2 games, a USB port that we may or may not even use. We may never use this. I don't even know what controller is supported by this. Is it just an 8-bit though? You have to go get something else? Fine. Okay. So maybe I have one laying around, maybe I don't. So I will probably never use this feature. So you've removed 2 games from me for a feature that I didn't ask for and I may never use. And you're only giving us 2 physical buttons. Now that matters if we're talking about what's the price of this machine. What is it really going to cost? When I can get a Marvel Superheroes 2-player countercade, each player has 6 buttons. You're getting 4 games. You're telling me that the price of the USB cable and jack, I guess, that equals, 8 buttons? The 4 that we're missing from each player? I mean, really, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So I think in my mind, if you want to charge the same price for everything, why in the hell wouldn't you just include the other 2 games? It's just 2 games. I don't get it. I mean, what do you think? 2 games versus a USB controller port that's an option. What do you think makes more sense as a consumer? I would not have the USB port, period. I wouldn't have it. It's like, that's okay. That's an iffy thing. That's something that they're never going to use. They may never use it. They might use it, but they may also not use it. So why don't we give them more games? But yet here we are, the same thing, 2 Turtles games on a cab. Now I have a thought. This could be licensing. A portion of this could be out of RK1-Up's hands. It could be that with Nintendo and the licensing agreements they have with Nintendo to get the rights to Turtles, they can only have Turtle games on any cab that they produce. Now, why do I say that? Well, obviously, that's what we got with that 3rd generation offering. The 4-player Turtles cab only had 2 games. Back then, we didn't question it. We had nothing else to reference it to. It was the first 4-player cab. So we thought, okay, 4-player control deck, cool, but we're only getting 2 games as a trade-off. Okay, we get it. We can roll with that. But now things have come forward, and we've got 3 different options or offerings now when it comes to the Turtles. And all 3 offerings have the exact same games list. Some features are added, some features are taken away, but you still just get those 2 games. So this may not be RK1-Up's fault. They may be limited to we can only have these 2 games. Maybe they wanted to include other Konami games on this, but because of licensing, they weren't allowed to. I don't know. I think Nintendo I'm not Nintendo. Nintendo. That's a pipe dream. I think Nickelodeon is that very specific licensing agreement could be the issue here. Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm not trying to give anybody a pass, but I'm trying to make sense of this because it doesn't make any sense. I just don't get it. I don't assume. I don't understand why removing games is really within reason. I get it. I understand. But if you've established a 4-game pattern with the other 3, two-player countercade cabs, then why is there so much difference when it comes to turtles? I don't get it. It seems like to me, from a manufacturing standpoint, don't offer USB, connections for any of them. Give them all 4 games and let's keep going. Why have one that's so super unique and special? Well, maybe they're trying to justify the cost by adding that USB port in there. That's just my 2 cents. Do I know that? No, but possibly. Hey, Bobby Broadway, what's up? The Wallcade QVC had it for the 2-player. Okay, yes, I did see that when they had the Street Fighter, and it was just 1-player controls, but they had that for the 2-player. That makes some sense, but there again, that's a feature that you may never use. But I think that pricing made a little more sense because you're still getting a 17-inch monitor with Wallcade too. So it's like, well, that's a different conversation. You're also getting more than 2 games when you get that one. So yes, I saw that video. It was a good video, actually. I love the ones that actually dig into the meat of stuff and tell you what's going on. All your Trons now belong to us. Your Trons now belong. What are you talking about? MG, what's going on? USB to 2 wireless controllers. Yes. I would imagine you could do that. Tammy G, how are you? Says $229. No, thank you. It's a little pricey. Especially if you're wanting a Turtles cab with a few more games. So I just think that is Kato771 says $30 for the extra wood they had to use. They made a mistake when they cut it. They cut it wrong. So that's where the $30 comes in. You're right. Extra. It's wood. It's always the extra wood. The wood is expensive in places. It's worse. It's more volatile than the oil market, right? Stocks going up and down. Mad Dad's Gaming. How the hell are you, buddy? Sub 19K Fox. Man, I just, I'm jonesing for my big blue. You got yours way before me. I still haven't got mine, man. I got mine from GameStop, and I'm still waiting for it to get here. I've been checking my FedEx every day, and it just says in transit. My heart is breaking. I can't wait to go online and get my ass kicked by everybody in the community. And y'all can laugh, and I can have fun and just drink bourbon. That KI is what I'm waiting for. Yes, everybody. I'm excited about it. We're going to talk about that in just a second. We got to get there. I got to move on, actually. So much to talk about. Jason Mucha. Target seems to have 3/4 size pictures up. That's another thing we need to talk about real quick. That's a good point. For the the MK2 Countercade, wrong description too. The $300 Pac-Man Babycade has good description, but 3/4 scale size pics. It's been a big source of confusion. I've seen some comments on my video talking about, hey, they're saying that 3/4 scale Legacy cab is going to be $229. No, I think what that was an incorrect listing. And it's a combination. You're right. You got prices with descriptions and wrong pictures, and it's all over the place. So if you go to Target, if you see a deal that looks too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. You're not going to get a Legacy cab with riser and lip marquee for $229. You're probably going to end up like everybody who got the X-Men cab for $599 and was all happy. You're going to get that email later on canceling your order, and you're not going to be happy about it. Except title is wrong for the baby kit. Yeah, and they really had some pictures. It was all confusing. It was not it's not good because it's not super clear what's going on with RK1 Up 2. So it's stuff like that can really mess somebody up. 19K Fox, try to pull up Mortal Kombat Countercade on Target. You will find a big mistake. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that right now. You said yeah, on Target. Yeah. We'll bring that up. So while we're talking about it, it's here we go. So you see the Countercade listings, they're $229, right? All day long. And then you see it right here. Hey, look at this. And even the title is wrong. Look at this. RK1 Up Midway Mortal Kombat 2 Home Arcade with riser. $229. Where do I sign up? And you click on the damn thing. It gets even worse. Look at this. The whole damn thing is wrong. Look, 12 games in one. Custom shape. This is all the same verbiage of the Legacy cabs. And it's just, somebody's going to click on this and be like, wow, this is awesome. Less than $250 for this thing. And then you look at it and all the dimensions are there. The weight is $80 or 80 pounds. I was thinking, man, this is going to be awesome. 12 games. I got to buy this, because they're not going to, maybe not everybody's is as watching this like a hawk as we are. Not everybody is as plugged in as we, and you shouldn't have to be this plugged in. You really shouldn't have to be. But if you scroll through, I believe, oh, calm down. Internet is exploding. Okay. Where I think there's another listing up here of the same cabinet. Yeah, here it is. See, same thing right here. I mean, it's the same everything, the title and everything, for $449. Now, someone might look at this and say, wait a minute, why is this $449 and the other one is $229? And some people may just say, listen, I don't care. I don't care. I'm getting it, whatever. Maybe they just blew past this listing and went down to the next one because they were looking, because they probably just looked at the price. Like a lot of people, $450, like, I'm not buying, I'm not paying $450 for that. That's crazy. So yeah, so that's it's not good. It's confusing. It's really confusing. It's gonna mess some people up. Damn it, come on, focus. I don't know what the problem is with that camera. It's crazy. Crazy indeed. What is going on? Ezekiel hitting me again with $20. Happy birthday, Fox. Wish you the best. Appreciate it. Hopefully one day we can meet and play some arcade and sip whiskey. Countercade price sucks. Now, thinking about a small bar top kit and add my own button sticks art with tons of games. Exactly. Arcade One may have just sort of missed the boat that they built themselves and set sail on. It's a damn shame, because a lot of people, I think, are going to just say, listen, at these prices, why don't I just, if there's been any trepidation about building something of my own, come on, camera. Now's the time to just jump off and just do that and spend less than $700 and build something myself. And I don't know, just sad. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat, man. I appreciate it. And let me hit you with a little bit, since you're still celebrating your birthday, your daughter's birthday, here's another one for her.
Target spotted. This should be quick. Finish!
Thank you so much for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Once again, happy birthday to your daughter. Hollywood Polo, what's up, man? Hi, everyone. I read your comment. I got love for you tonight. Don't get mad at me. Not that it's not warranted. Just want to make sure that you know. I know you're here. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. Always nice. Hollywood Polo is somebody who always says hi to me, no matter if I'm in another chat or something. Always saying hi. Always asking me how my weekend is going. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Papa Bread's Gaming, what's up? Hope you're doing well down there. And I think you're in some of the areas that are affected by the storms down in Louisiana. Hope you're still doing safe. Hope you're doing well. Endless, I just sent a video. Just sent you. Oh, you're talking to Endless One Up. Just sent you a video. Did you get it on email? I hope he got it. I feel like I'm butting into somebody else's conversation. Baby Cade, a.k.a. Bathroom Cade. The easy clean. Exactly. Just wipe it down. It's all plastic. It's good to go. Easy on messes. Target canceled those. Yeah, they canceled those initial X-Men pre-orders. So I hate to have somebody get all excited thinking they're going to get a full size for $229 and then just get completely bamboozled. Brad, just so you know, Endless One Up did get it. Thank you. And he replied, glad to help. So let's talk real quick about a little bit of drama going on in the Arcade One Up community. And we'll start by basically the AtGames Racer. So anybody that watches the Super Arcade Dudes, I think it's the name of the show, I enjoy it. I enjoy those guys on there. I do not own any AtGame products yet. Just a full disclaimer. I've been thinking about this, thinking about that. Obviously, the big thing for me is the pinball machine. I think they have the best offering out there as far as home digital stuff, commercial-wise. I mean, I think there's other digital pinball machines that are well over $1,000. So I think that for that price, no, Papa Bread, don't worry about it. But yeah, I think that was probably the way to go if you're looking for digital pinball. The multicades aren't my thing from them. I'm sure they're fine, but I'm not just, yes, Super Game Room Dudes. I apologize for getting the name of the show wrong. Mike Hawkhurst, correct me there. Super Game Room Dudes, they are great guys. And I don't think that this reflects negatively on them at all, because I think that they were excited about AtGames, as they should be, because AtGames has some pretty cool stuff. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I was looking at the Core and the Core Max and all that, thinking about maybe stepping in that way. And then they revealed that Racer. And I think a lot of people are kind of, if you're into the multicades, I think a lot of people are sort of wanting them to come out with something different, something new. AtGames is good about making different control decks, swapping it into their pinball machines and all that, giving you some versatility. So we saw that little prototype, and for better or for worse, whatever you think of it, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and bring up some of the pictures that we saw at the end of that live stream right here. There you go. I mean, a neon glowing seat. I thought that was kind of, they said this was a prototype. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. It's a first step. Could be good, could be cool. I think a lot of people are looking for some kind of multi-cade driving simulator option. There's nothing really out there. You still got to build it. I'm working on mine currently. You got to build it. You got to put it together yourself. You got to start with, okay, let me find a racing seat. And right off the bat, you're going to find yourself challenged by some of the offerings out there, how much things cost, getting that figured out, because you also got to factor in your wheel. You're looking for force feedback, shifter, and all that. And it can really get out of control pretty quickly. So I think a lot of people were interested in this. Maybe not this, but they're interested in the idea, right? The idea of having a multi-cade racer is something people are interested in. And we saw it, and I didn't think too much of it. They're all like prototype, whatever. But let's jump over to a guy I think most of you will know out there. Retro Ralph decided to just piss on their whole parade, but I don't think he was out of line at all, because if anybody is plugged in and knows what's out there, Retro Ralph is definitely the guy. He tweeted this: I love how the AtGames prototype racer is a kids racing cabinet from Alibaba. Come on, man, seriously? Clearly, they were not ready to show this to anyone. Did you think we would notice? This is lame. You can do better than that. And then all the associated hashtags and whatnot. So listen, I mean, separate yourself from your AtGames love or hate. This is not what this is about. He pointed out something that obviously is correct. And I thought, damn, okay. AtGames issued a statement. Let me bring up some of that statement now. I'm not going to talk about the whole thing, but I want to bring up this first portion, okay? Just for transparency, for clarity, to be fair, because I'm very impartial when it comes to this. I'm just a pillar of impartiality. Here you go. So this is a portion of their statement that was available on their Facebook page. It said, I think I'll just read it. I know you can read, but basically it admits, hey, listen, this is what was revealed on the Game Room Dude show. And then they talked about their relationship with AliExpress and the seller there, and that's going to distribute. It's a prototype, and blah, blah, blah. They had to clarify that. So was it ready for prime time? No, unfortunately, I don't think so. Was it way too early to show this? Yes. I think AtGames should get like all the blame, all the criticism. I don't think they deserve hate, but I think that they need to be ready when they're going to showcase this for something. And I think that if you're going to use our friends in the community, YouTube, if you're going to use them to push a product out, you need to let them know ahead of time that this is not the greatest, newest thing that's out there, to prepare them for some of the backlash. Because I think, unfortunately, while I don't know P-Dubs and Michael B personally, I think they got some undue backlash. I don't think that was necessarily, that shouldn't have been put on them per se. Maybe they should have asked some questions up front. I don't know. But I think AtGames needed to be upfront with them and say, listen, this is a generic thing that's out there now, but this is what we're going to use as the test bed and then eventually the springboard for our product, right? Just be honest about it so that they could have that disclaimer when they did that on the show. I mean, I was like, damn. Which, AtGames does not have the best past. They don't have the best track record. And a lot of people, understand that. And they know that the company has to overcome that. And I think that they definitely can. But this is not the way to do it. So let me know in the comment section, are you excited about a potential racer? I kind of am. But, this ain't it. And I think while you may look a little silly, and they say this guy's 6'1" or 6 foot tall, you might look a little silly in this. You look a little silly in an RK one up too, but at least with RK one up, the price is so much lower, and I kind of prefer to stand up anyway. If I'm going to sit down, I'm going to go wide open. So anyway, that was just my 2 cents. Take that and $5 to get some coffee. That's just what I think. Anybody, let me know. Let me know what you think about that. I could be way off. It is what it is. But I think that it's worth throwing it out there. So anyway, John D, what's going on, man? How you doing? Love my channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. Never hold back. Nah, not going to do it. Okay, back to the Rams. Rams? You must be from California. And go Bears. What's going on? Enjoy the game. Appreciate it, John D. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it's I'm a Cowboys fan, so I really thought that they were going to get destroyed against Tampa, but they held their own. So, while they started the year with a loss, they lost to the Super Bowl team and, of course, the greatest quarterback of all time. So, if nothing else, and when you lose, what do? You make excuses. And that's a great excuse to have, for sure. Thanks, John D, for stopping by. I appreciate it. And, of course, when you give a super chat, I give you a little something special. And let me give you some of I got to break out the classic. Here you go, brother.
You're done. You're finished. How dare you? How dare you? You and this planet are as good as space dust! Hammy! Kyle Kincaid 4! No! He's beating me!
The best finishes always are dramatic. Always. I almost hit it again. Thank you so much for the super chat, John. Do appreciate it, man. So let's get to the next one. Let's get to now full disclosure. The man of the hour is definitely going to be Toycade because he's the one that broke this one, and I'm pretty excited about this. So right off the bat, rewind the clock back to January. We were all excited about a couple things that RK1 decided to drop, and one of those things was Killer Instinct. Now, there's a lot of trepidation out there. Rightly so. You don't mess with Killer Instinct. It's hard to emulate. Got to get it right. There's channels out there dedicated to just Killer Instinct because it's that important, because it's that, it's one of those bucket list check mark things. Like, I got to have that. For sure. And they announced it. And end of the day, that was, if everything falls apart, I got to get that one. And then we didn't hear anything. Getting upset, getting frustrated, getting worried. Come on, take my money. And then we saw the legacy cabs, had some reservations. I had to make a change. I fixed my control panel, but it took some work. Didn't like this, didn't like that. Went back to the renderings on the Killer Instinct cab. Oh, crap. Is that going to be the same? Are we going to have those same issues? Oh, no. Starting to freak out. This is my experience. Your mileage may vary. But then we saw this, and I think some of, maybe not all, but some of my concerns have kind of been addressed. So let's swing back over. I want to show you some of this greatness because this is kind of cool. Okay, so once again, Toycade, check out his channel. He does great work. His videos are doing great right now too. So definitely want to swing by and check him out. He's the one that broke the story. Let's look at these images right here. Checking this out. So I'm seeing a lot that I'm liking now. First off, the biggest thing I think is the fact that this is going with the big blue seam right there. I know you may not be able to see my cursor there. You see that seam right there making up a taller side panel. This is going to be a taller machine right off the bat. You can see that what I believe, this is just my uncalibrated eyeball, you can see that slant, right? The monitor looks like it's a little more slanted back. So all of a sudden, right there, boom, I'm getting excited because that was something I thought it was too low, the way they had the cab done with the legacy. So right there, they addressed that with the extension panel there. I still have some. I'm waiting on my big blue. I want to see how that structurally fits together. So I'm interested to see how that goes. Seeing that laid back a little bit more, I'm like, okay, all right, you got me. The control panel, it looks like it's flush. It looks like it's flush. Still inside. I wish those screws were kind of pushed out a little farther, but it looks like it's actually flush. So there's three major concerns that I had, and the shape, you can tell the shape's a little bit different too. It looks like I mean, if this is up for FCC, if this is what we're going to see popping, if this is what we're going to see available for pre-order, I'm pretty excited. You got the lit deck protector, which I don't know. At the end of the day, I like it. I got mine, always got mine on, but it shows every smudge. It smudged every fingerprint, every detail. It's all there. And you got to be careful when you over tighten your deck protector and it splinters just a little bit. If it spider webs at all, you're going to see that. You're going to see that's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. So I don't like that. But beyond that, I mean, I think I'm liking what I see. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Now, let's refresh everybody's memory. I want to bring this up again. This is those Randy's Records leaks, right? Check this out. If we look at these dates, so far, everything that's come out, with the exception of track and field, which I think just fell off the radar. I'm not sure what's going on. And then Tron is kind of a little bit of a misnomer. Big Blue and Turtles, Big Blue specifically, seems to be tracking right. It's right on track with that 9:30. Looks like the middle of this month, I'm going to get my hands on Big Blue. And there's a lot of people that already got theirs way before me. So that looks like that's going to be tracking pretty good. Simpsons, the same thing. I've got mine coming, and I actually waited for Walmart, and I'm getting mine mid-November. Okay. So is it possible, based on pure speculation, is it possible that we could see this rolling in as soon as, mid-November, late November? Could this be that Christmas present that I want, that you want? Possibly. Okay, now I got John D's talking about $50 extra. We will charge an extra $50 for smudge-free lit deck protectors. I might actually pay that. But it's got to be smudge-free. Don't be toying with my emotions. No smudges will be had on this. No smudges. If we're talking about $50, it's got to be smudge. I don't know. Is a little arm going to come out and wipe off the smudge? So is it possible that we could see this mid-November? I don't know. I hope so. I really want to see this before Christmas because I got Simpsons coming. I got to check out that bowling. Got to make sure that's legit. I'm the guy that said it wasn't even going to make it onto the cab. So I'm going to be eating some humble pie while I play it. I get it. But the only other thing I really want to get this year has got to be Killer Instinct. And that's kind of where we're at. We don't know anything yet. Nothing listed, no pre-orders, no other leaks that I know of as of right now. So what do you think? What do you think? Do you like this? Because I think I'm trying not to overhype my own self because we don't know how the game's going to run. But we do have a couple things to look at also. Well, I got one more slide to show you. So the Killer Instinct settings. This is really interesting here because you're getting into a lot of the detail that this is more than just throwing on some scan lines. We've got blood color. We got blood level, which I'm assuming, because I'm not the biggest Killer Instinct arcade hardware guy, I'm assuming these must have been adjustable within that ROM. And then it was pointed out by Toycade that the final version right here, the ROM version 1.5D, is actually not the one that everyone really wants. They want the 1.4. So is this selectable? That would be really awesome. Of course, you see the scan lines on and off. So are we going to be able to select ROM versions for Killer Instinct, the first one? Now, if you look at Killer Instinct 2, it looks like we're not going to have that option as far as the ROM version. But what that tells me is that if they're going that deep to have ROM versions selectable, this is for the people that love Killer Instinct. It's not just for some of the normies, it's for more of the diehards. So I think that, listen, I'm not trying to get too hyped. I'm not trying to get too pumped. I hope it does. I hope it's not $900. I really hope this is $699 or less. Because if you look at the games list that was going to be on here, and I don't have a slide for that, but basically we're not going to get the console version of Double Dragon / Battletoads. We're going to get Battletoads, the arcade version, and then we're going to get two versions of Battletoads that are 8-bit and 16-bit. I don't know if I get that. I don't understand that. I'm not a big. I don't think that the arcade ports onto console ports should not be on my arcade. So I'm not even gonna bother with those. But so in my humble opinion, you got 3 good games right there. That's pretty good. I think that personally, if we're looking at this Big Blue was $5.99. Why can't this be $5.99? That's where I'm at. But I don't know what to expect. I don't really expect it to be $5.99 because unfortunately we've got countercades, or I'm sorry, head-to-heads that are, $700. So where's it going to land? I don't know. Now, if it's $5.99, I'm going to be losing my mind. $5.99 all day. I'll be going crazy. Might buy two. No, I'm not going to buy two, but I'll buy one and I'll buy a stool. How about that? So, but anyway, I'm excited about it. The price point, all that kind of hit me and kind of deflated, took the wind out of my sails a little bit, but this looks promising. So let me know what you think about that because I'm excited about it. Fingers crossed that it runs correctly, which is looking good. It's looking really good. Let me swing back by the chat. Toycade, there he is, the man himself. I'm giving you all the props, brother. Giving you all the props. Bring it to Australia? Damn right. John D needs to bring it to Australia personally. In a boat. Now you can fly. You can fly. If you don't mind wearing the mask, though, man. Sip of the bourbon. Okay, so that's where we're at on Killer Instinct, but I promise you an unboxing tonight of epic proportion. Here we go. Everybody ready? Surprise. So this is a tough pill to swallow because I still don't have my Big Blue. I'm blaming FedEx and GameStop. I'll probably never order from GameStop again, but here we go. Here's the unboxing. The Arcade 1-Up unboxing. Collectibles. Yeah, it's a grab bag. We don't know what's in it. Mini and clip-on plush, but we don't know which one I got. These are available at Walmart for $7.99. I found these at a gas station. So, everybody ready? Here we go. What's it going to be? It's going to be, oh my God. What do you think it is? If you're an Arcade 1-Up fan, what do they have a ton of? Tell me. Quick. No, John D, these are not gummies. I'd be probably happier if it was a gummy. You know what this is. I really want my Big Blue cabinet. Pac-Man. It is plush, though. It's got a little loop. And now, I think I have every version of Pac-Man that Arcade 1-Up actually offers. Yay.
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
We're at an hour and 13 minutes, and the bourbon is now gone. I want to thank everybody for stopping by, partaking in the epic unboxing. Oh, look, you can kind of do that. So, yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. Definitely pumped about Killer Instinct. Anxious to hear or see if we can hear something else about Terminator 2. But for now, I'll take what I can get. The X-Men 6-player project is making some big strides. I got some parts in, and that video should be coming out in a couple days. It's going to be part 1, and I wanted to make sure, once again, I told you this last week, but this time I wanted to make sure that part 1 of the project encompassed a lot of it. So I'm going to be working on that the next couple days. Get that together and get that video out to you. 6-player X-Men. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, the winner, I'm working on that. The winner, just so you know, for your information, the winner of the last giveaway chose to go with a Mortal Kombat Legacy cabinet fix. So I'm going to redo that for them. So that's going to be fun. Got to get working on that. Get that in the mail. Get that out to him. Thank you so much, everybody, once again, for getting me beyond 2K and beyond. So once again, appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Y'all have a blessed day. Enjoy your work week as much as you possibly can, and I will see you next time.